Hi guys, no wristwatch today. This is because I decided to do a wristwatch collection review. So starting from the first watch, this is the Sector 280 sports watch. And this is pretty much my first watch that has not been a complete garbage. Back in the day I used to have some of these plastic Q&Q and whatnot, but this is like the first watch that I bought myself. I was probably at 19 or 20 years old. Watch costed about $220, which was quite a lot for me back then. And it is the first watch that I chose. It was not gifted or something like this. And this watch gave me joy for approximately 7 years. Every time I looked at it, it really made me satisfied with the watch that I have on my wrist. To some extent, it has shaped my my style for watches and my understanding of what a good watch should be. Because to this day, I like chronograph watches. I kind of like the indices that you see here, and I'm finding myself searching for elements of this watch into other watches, which is funny because if you look at this watch, it actually you could find elements from some of the more significant watch designs kind of blended into this one. It features a Swiss ETA quartz movement, which has been quite reliable. This watch has been through everything. I've never taken it down, regardless of what I was doing, any kind of sports. I swam into rivers with it, anything you name it. This watch has been through it. It has never been serviced. I've replaced only the batteries. It doesn't have a signed crown. Here it used to have some a plastic marker or something like this that fell off. But to this day, it remains one of my favorite watches. And actually, this watch is the reason why I've got this watch madness, the watch bug, because I actually lost this watch. I couldn't find it for a couple of weeks, and I decided, okay, it's time for me to get a Swiss watch now, mechanical Swiss watch, which leads to the second watch that I have in my collection, which is this Hamilton. When I did lose the Sector, I probably went ahead and reviewed more than 1,000 watch models, and I was just looking at pictures, reading for those watches that were kind of interesting to me. So what happened was that I really liked the Zenith Pilot, which was way outside of my budget back then. So I decided, okay, I obviously like a vintage Pilot with a big crown like this Hamilton has. So that was probably the watch that was kind of resembling what the Zenith Pilot was. So I got this Hamilton, and it's been a very good watch. I wore it for nearly 2 years, of it almost every day. What you can see is that it has the transparent case back. I've done a review of this watch. I'd say that I'm quite happy with it now, especially on this aftermarket strap. Extremely thick aftermarket strap that I've got for it, and yeah, it's been quite a good watch in my collection. What happened next is that there was a period in which I was not able to afford any like significant or more expensive watch. So what happened is that at some point I had to scratch my watch itch, and I got this Amphibia because it was very cheap. And then I spent some time trying to find the correct bezel for it, to find a NATO strap that would fit, to find a bezel insert, etc. So it was like a small project. I've also done a video on Vostok. You can go ahead and check it out as well, but it's a lot of watch for your money. So following the Vostok, I joined a group on Facebook. The group was something like affordable watches, I don't know, something like this. And the first thing that I saw there was this Bulova, which I really liked. The first video on YouTube that I have is on this Bulova, and I immediately went ahead and found it on eBay for $140. So I went ahead, bought it immediately, and it's been a great addition to my collection. It's probably my biggest watch. It's 47, 48 millimeters, I don't know, it's quite big watch, and it's been serving as my beater. So I've been swimming into the sea, in the pools, whatnot with this one. It has a very sturdy silicone strap as well, and it features this high frequency quartz movement by Bulova, which is their signature movement. As you can see, the second hand is extremely smooth, unlike on most quartz watches. Really nice watch, I'm very happy with it. Yeah, so what happens next is that I decided to finally get a luxury watch, which ended up to be the Omega Seamaster 300 meters professional diver. Initially I thought that I'll be getting a Tudor Black Bay, but then what I found out is that the Black Bay is almost the same price as Omega. So it was a question of which one did I prefer best in terms of design, and which one I felt like liking more. But it was also a question of brand recognition. Yeah, so where I live, nobody actually knows about Tudor. So Omega was definitely the more recognizable brand, and back in the day Tudor was not actually that popular as it is at the moment, so nobody actually knew what Tudor was. It was basically a brand for watch enthusiasts. Yeah, so that's my entry-level luxury, truly luxury watch. On the factory bracelet, as you can see, I'm using this watch quite a lot because you can see the scratches that this has picked up over time. Very happy with it. And this is not my latest addition to the collection, so the latest edition will be something else, and that is the Diesel dress watch with Roman numerals, number 157. It's a manual wind watch, and I've got it just recently. It features this Chinese mechanical movement. It's not a non-hacking movement, so you can't really hack it. But it doesn't really matter because this watch is a stunning value for money. I'm going to do a full review of this watch, but I would like to have it for. I would like to have it on my wrist for probably a bit more before I come up with a full review. And this is my latest acquisition, and that is the latest watch in my collection. I decided to present those watches to you in a chronological order of acquisition, not in terms of value, because this way you could see how the collection progressed. For those of you who are following the channel, you would notice that there is one piece missing, and that is the Seiko Presage Cocktail Time, the Blue Moon. And the reason for this missing is because I sold the watch. I made a very controversial video about it. A video that I really didn't mean to be negative, but some people were quite I would say offended, because I did say a few things about the watch, pointing out that it was not actually a luxury watch as some other channels were presenting it to be. But all in all, I really like the watch. The actual reason for me to sell it was that it was looking too small on my nearly 8-inch hairy wrist. So the Seiko looked pretty small with its 40 millimeters, and honestly it looked like I've stolen it from my girlfriend. So it was too tender of a watch to have on my wrist. Well, you would say, why then you got this Tissot? Because it's also a dress watch, because this Tissot is 44 millimeters, and I think it stays a little bit better on my wrist. But I'll do a full review for this watch in some of the upcoming days. Okay, I hope you liked my collection. Yeah, one more thing is what follows next with the collection is that I'm going to present a Breitling in my collection. So currently I'm kind of trying to decide between 3 models, and I think this watch has something to do with it, because what I find out is that in my watch journey I'm actually trying to find the luxury equivalent of this watch, or to find a watch that will give me the same joy that this watch used to give me back in the day. So this is it. Pretty much my watch journey is a mission to find a luxury watch that will give me the joys that $200 watch gave me for these 7 years. So at the moment, there are 3 Breitlings that are in contention. The first one would be the Chronomat 44. So this is something that I'm considering heavily. As an alternative, I might as well go with the Navitimer 01, either the 43 or the 46 mil. Or there is also a diver that I like. This is the Super Ocean 44. That's the first version of the Super Ocean that doesn't have the lume peep at 12, but I like it much more than the modern iterations of the Super Ocean. So these are the 3 Breitlings that I'm considering for my collection next, and I'll keep you updated on what happens there. Or I'm not in a hurry to get any of those, so I'll take my time. I'll try to find some good deals and I'll let you know. Okay, drop your comments below regarding my collection, and let me know if I could improve on any of my watches. Yeah, I understand that most of these watches are considered entry level, or let's not use other words that Archie would use, but yeah, just let me know what you think, and see you next time.